My amazing friends, we are back. Thank you for joining me. This is the sixth installment of the Cosmic Crystal Collection. And this week we are talking about the brilliant Lapis Lazuli. Ooh. Are you ready? Let's go. Ah, yes. Lapis Lazuli. Oh, beautiful stone. Lapis comes from the Latin word stone, and lazuli comes from the Persian word lashwar. Excuse me if my Persian is a little off. Meaning blue. Um, the Arabic word for lapis lazuli means stone of heaven. Look at this stone of heaven. Quite beautiful. Lapis has been admired throughout the history of man. It is said to be part of the firmament, and it contains all of the stars in the sky. Lapis comes from lazurite, which is the blue stone. It also contains some calcite and pyrite, which has these little gold flecks in there, and other trace minerals. Many ancient texts refer to lapis lazuli, and historians say that the relationship between man and lapis goes back further than 6,000 years. The gem was treasured by many ancient civilizations such as Mesopotamia, Egypt, China, Greece, Rome. The second oldest religious text ever created, the Epic of Gilgamesh, which was written between 2100 BC and 1200 BC, refers to lapis lazuli numerous times and is considered having immense value. In ancient Egypt, lapis lazuli was treasured by pharaohs, judges, high priests. It was made into amulets. It was used in jewelry. It was used as a pigment. In fact, lapis lazuli is found throughout King Tutankhamun's famous funeral mask. Um, Priests, judges would carve statues of Ma'at, which have been found in Upper and Lower Egypt. Uh, Ma'at being the goddess of truth. This is a theme we are going to see with this stone. Fun fact for all you MUAs out there, your little makeup artist, Cleopatra, would have this stone ground down into a fine powder and used cosmetically as eyeshadow. I'm not lying. That's a fact. We start to see lapis make its way into ancient China via the Silk Road by way of Afghanistan. This is where lapis was found primarily in the regions of Afghanistan. And during the same time, Buddhism was making its way into China. And as one of the seven treasures of Buddhism, the esteemed lapis lazuli is regarded as a stone of heaven for its purity and rarity. In fact, it is said that in Buddha Amitabha's paradise, the steps of the kingdom are made of gold, silver, and lapis lazuli. Interesting fact. This remarkable gemstone is referenced over 100 times in the Bible. There is a particular item in the Bible that I am fascinated by, and it is the breastplate of the prophet Aaron. In the Old Testament, you can find it in the book of Exodus, called the breastplate of judgment. We see the breastplate show up again in the New Testament in Ephesians, written by Paul the Apostle. That's one of my favorite verses in the Bible when they're discussing the armor of God. I am fascinated by the breastplate of righteousness and the breastplate of judgment. There's been a debate about if it's actually lapis or sapphire because of modern translation, but there are plenty of historians that say sapphire wasn't around that region in that time. Lapis was, and lapis was a precious stone in the days of the Bible. So, very interesting to see this stone be referenced so many times throughout the Bible. Ooh, 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 ooh. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. Both judgment and righteousness play a significant role in the meaning of lapis, and we'll definitely tap into that as soon as we move on from our little history lesson. It was valued for its exquisite color, and at one time it was more precious than gold. The gorgeous color of Lapis Lazuli has attracted artists for thousands of years. It was used because it held its color, it would not fade in the elements, but it was the most expensive pigment known to man at the time. It was used in the tombs of Egypt, and during the Renaissance, many famous artists, such as Michelangelo, who painted the Sistine Chapel, the Final Judgment, used lapis lazuli in those frescoes. And to this day, if you visit Rome and you look up and you look above and you see the blue vibrant colors, those were all made out of lapis. Other famous artists that have used lapis lazuli include Vincent van Gogh, his famous painting, The Starry Night, and many others of his paintings. All of the blues in his paintings were made out of lapis lazuli. If we look at Johannes Vermeer and his famous painting, The Girl with the Pearl Earring, her lovely blue headscarf is made out of lapis lazuli. Very, very prized amongst the artists, and still to this day used as a pigment for the paints. All right, let's get to the nitty gritty. That was a fun little history lesson, but let's dive into some meaning. As I stated before, we're going to see themes of judgment and righteousness within the meanings of this stone. Often called the stone of truth, lapis lazuli will stimulate wisdom. It will encourage good judgment in the practical world. It aids with problem solving and creativity, and sometimes we need to get creative to solve problems. It's a very good stone for that. Lapis lazuli is a powerful crystal to help tap into the higher mind and activate intellectual abilities. It stimulates the desire for knowledge, for truth, and will help allow us make good judgments. There's the theme again: righteousness, truth, judgment. This is the stone to cut through all of the stuff and get to the nitty gritty, the realness, the truth. Lapis reveals that inner truth, promotes that self acceptance and understanding of that knowledge. We can go our whole lives living within a particular storyline or a narrative, and even when there's truths presented that can change your mind or possibly offer some insight, we can get in our own way. Our ego can block us from looking at things from another perspective in order to grow or to learn. Um, La Peace will help dissolve that ego and allow us to see situations from another perspective, allow us to gain some knowledge or some truth so that we can release old paradigms and essentially um, consciously evolve into a better version of ourselves. There's always three sides to the truth. There's your truth, there's the other person's truth, and there's the truth, which is God's truth. And sometimes we need to rise above what we feel our truth is or what we think somebody else's truth is and try to get a better perspective of the actual truth. That will help us walk um, steadfastly to our destination and keep us from wavering or getting pulled in either direction. Uncovering the truth can be extremely uncomfortable. It's like the Matrix, right? The movie. Um, you know, when Neo takes the pill, he's like, "Oh, I'm all disheveled. Boo! This can't be real." That's a good interpretation of being served a plate of truth sometimes, because we might think a certain way or built a belief system around a truth that might not necessarily be true. And when we're served the truth, it can be a tough pill to swallow. Lapis is a really good stone to help make that truth more palpable. And when you're uncovering truths, you can have a lot of repressed emotions or suppressed anxiety or trauma. La Peace will allow us to deal with that in a healthy way. Not to beat ourselves up for it, but to kind of accept whatever knowledge is given to us, so that we may move forward in our journeys. When you walk in truth, it's a different feeling. It's You feel confident. You feel that unwavering strength. You feel that God's got your back, and He does, always, when you walk in the truth. La Peace offers spiritual awareness and gives a much clearer perspective in life. It encourages qualities of honesty and compassion towards others, and also can develop your integrity, right? And when you have that, when you have good truth, when you have good judgment, when you have a clear vision, when you operate with compassion and integrity, your relationships with people get stronger because you're no longer dealing in the realm of BS. You can get right to the meat of any issue, and you can do so compassionately and lovingly, and that will open the door for very strong relationships in your life. Speak it, baby. Speak it. Once you operate in truth, you become your authentic self. You're no longer faking it to make it. Okay? You become who you are when you operate with the truth. All in all, La Peace is a great stone to have in your collection. It's been used for generations. It is a good stone for knowledge, for wisdom, right? Self awareness. It enhances your spiritual ability. It's the stone of truth, it's the stone of universal wisdom. And that's about it, folks. That's all I got. Uh, you know, Diving into this has been extremely enlightening. I've had this stone for a couple years now, and I love it. I have this little guy here, Tia, and I think La Peace is a fantastic stone to add to your collection. Um, Truth is empowering. And when you start to search for truth, you'll find it. It's out there. And Lapis will help you through that journey. And that's all I got. I had a fun time this week. If you like what you saw, give it the old thumbs up. If you want to see more, subscribe. And if you have any comments, please feel free to leave them down below. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Okay, folks. Till next time. Peace and blessings. Bye.